Welcome to this space of light and clarity. Today, the angels bring me to you with a message of great importance. Something happening behind the scenes in your life that needs to be brought to light. There's a very significant energy shift surrounding the person on your mind and in your heart. This individual, who may have seemed distant, confused, or even undecided, has gone through a transformative experience. She received advice, but it wasn't just any advice. It was a crucial word. A truth so direct and powerful that it acted like a beam of light cutting through the darkness of her uncertainty. The angels show that this guidance didn't come from an ordinary source. It was a moment of realization, an almost profound intervention that forced her to reevaluate everything she thought she knew about you and the connection you share. She was confronted with a perspective she'd long ignored, and this new clarity is changing everything within her. The confusion that paralyzed her is, little by little, being replaced by an urgent need to understand what she truly lost, or what she might still have. This message that reached her was like a mirror, reflecting not only your worth, but also the fears and pride that kept her distant. What I'm about to share could change how you see this situation, because this person isn't the same as yesterday. Something fundamental has awakened in her consciousness, a shift that is prompting her to see you with new eyes, with the depth and recognition you've always deserved. Prepare your heart, as energies are moving, and the truth planted in her soul is about to blossom. There's something very important you need to know about the impact this advice had and how it will directly affect your future. Before we continue, please type this mantra in the comments. My heart is open to give and receive genuine love. Now, let's get back to the message. This person was driven to such deep reflection that her defenses began to crumble. The advice she received wasn't a gentle suggestion, but a truth that hit her to her core. It was as if the universe, tired of her procrastination, sent a messenger to state, in no uncertain terms, what her soul already knew, but her mind refused to accept. The angels show that this advice made her see the connection between you two, not as an option, but as a rare gift she was squandering. The person who advised her, whether a wise friend, a family member, or even an inner voice that spoke loudest in a moment of quiet, pointed out that the happiness she's been seeking externally has always been tied to the energy she shares with you. She was told that time doesn't wait for undecided hearts, and opportunities like having someone like you in her life don't come around twice. This truth unsettled her, forcing her to confront the real possibility of losing you for good. She is now in a state of intense reevaluation, weighing her choices, her fears, and above all, the feeling she tried to suppress. The seed of truth was planted, and now she's dealing with the blossoming of a consciousness that can no longer be ignored. She's starting to understand that the distance she created didn't protect her. It only isolated her from the one source of true love she found. Dear soul, it's crucial you grasp the depth of what occurred. The advice this person received wasn't just a catchy phrase. It was a key that unlocked a hidden door within her awareness. The source of this guidance, as the angels show me, was orchestrated by the spiritual realm. It may have come through a person, yes, perhaps an older, wiser individual who looked her in the eye and spoke with unquestionable authority. Or perhaps it was in a moment of complete solitude, an overwhelming insight, a voice that rang in her mind with crystal clarity, almost as if an angel was speaking directly to her. This moment was a true wake-up call. It was unequivocally shown to her that her hesitation wasn't based on logic or lack of feeling, but on fear and pride, two of the biggest obstacles to human happiness. The core message was, you are letting the person your soul recognizes slip away out of fear of getting hurt, but the real wound will be her absence for the rest of your life. Imagine the impact of those words. They resonated so deeply within her that it knocked her off her feet. All the excuses she made for herself, all the justifications for the distance, suddenly seemed fragile and meaningless. She was forced to face the possibility of an empty future, one where she'd look back with deep regret for not having the courage to act. This advice made her question not only your relationship, but her own life, her choices, and her capacity for true happiness. Now, before we continue, please type 1111 in the comments to affirm this alignment and open pathways in your love life. The energy of this number boosts unity and truth. And if this message is already warming your heart and bringing you hope, please consider leaving a contribution through the Thanks button. Your loving support is a seed of light that helps us keep spreading these comforting words to more souls who need them. Now back to the message. The impact was so strong that, in the days that followed, she couldn't think of anything else. The words echo in her mind, especially at night, in the quiet, when there are no distractions. She began to re-examine every memory, every conversation, every moment shared with you, but under a new light. Where she once saw flaws or problems, she now sees lost opportunities for connection. Where she once felt uncertainty, she now feels the painful clarity of her own mistake. This advice wasn't just information, it was a spiritual activation. She was shaken out of her emotional slumber and is now in a state of awakening. She's starting to realize that the peace she's been searching for won't be found anywhere else or with anyone else, because that peace is intrinsically linked to your energy. Dear soul, let's dive deeper into the content of this transformative advice, as it's essential you know exactly what was said. The first part of what was brought to her attention focused entirely on you, on your priceless worth. The message was clear and direct. You are treating someone extraordinarily rare as if they are common. The light this woman carries isn't just to illuminate her own path, but yours too, and you've been walking with your eyes closed. This person was confronted with the truth that she underestimated you. She didn't see the depth of your strength, the purity of your intentions, and the stability your presence brought to her life. It was explained to her that you weren't just a companion or a love interest, but an anchor of light. What does that mean? It means that, even without realizing it, your energy kept her centered, calmed her amidst her inner storms, and offered her a safe harbor of authenticity in an often superficial world. She may have grown accustomed to your kindness, your patience, your ability to understand beyond words, and because of that, failed to value these attributes as the treasures they truly are. The advice made her see that while she was searching for something to complete her, she already had someone by her side who overflowed her, someone whose simple presence could bring peace to her restless soul. This realization is making her feel deeply regretful. She's starting to get that her search for something more was just an illusion, a distraction keeping her from seeing the good right in front of her. But there's more to it. Something even deeper is going on. Before we go on, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Your presence in our community strengthens this positive energy and helps us keep creating meaningful content for you. Back to the message. This person is now replaying in their mind every time you were there for them, every time you offered unconditional support, and comparing it to how they behaved. The difference between what you gave and what they gave back is becoming painfully obvious. They're realizing you asked for nothing in return, that your love was real, and this understanding fills them with a mix of admiration and shame. They're realizing they might never have met someone with such a pure heart, and that, due to immaturity or fear, they didn't know how to value that connection. This realization is breaking down their pride, as they now see true strength wasn't in keeping their distance, but in your courage to love openly. Angels are sending you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 7. Write in the comments, "I welcome the angels' energy. My lucky number is 7, and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I care about and love deeply." If this message resonated with you, show your support and help spread this message of hope to others who need it. Dear soul, getting such powerful advice has naturally stirred up a storm inside this person. Right now, they're fighting an intense emotional battle. On one side is the newly found truth, the blinding clarity about your worth and the importance of your connection. On the other are the old patterns, the ego, pride, and fear that ruled them for so long. It's a huge clash between their soul, which recognizes the truth and longs to reconnect, and their mind, which is still stuck in old defenses and terrified of being vulnerable. The angels show they're experiencing waves of conflicting emotions. One moment, they feel a surge of certainty, an overwhelming urge to drop everything and rush to you, to apologize and try to fix what's broken. They picture having that conversation, opening their heart, and feel immense relief just thinking about it. In those moments, the longing becomes almost physical, and the need to hear your voice is nearly unbearable. But then, another wave hits them, fear. Their mind starts to bombard them with doubts. What if it's too late? What if you've already moved on? What if I get rejected? Do I even deserve your forgiveness after all this time? These questions paralyze them, bringing back the armor of pride as a self-protection mechanism. They're afraid of looking weak, afraid to show their feelings and not have them returned with the same intensity. This internal struggle is draining their energy. They might seem normal on the outside, going about their routine, but inside, it's chaos. Nights have been especially tough, as the silence amplifies their thoughts and keeps them from escaping what they truly feel. They're replaying conversations, analyzing their own actions, and for the first time, putting themselves in your shoes, trying to imagine how you felt with their distance and silence. This newfound empathy is painful, but essential for their growth. Before we continue, the angels ask you to do a release exercise that will also help them energetically. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you'd like to forgive. Visualize each one, send them love, and say, "I forgive you," and set you free. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice daily to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. Back to the message. This conflict isn't a sign of weakness, but of a deep transformation. For the new to emerge, the old needs to be faced and dismantled. Their ego is being challenged like never before. The truth they received forced them to admit to themselves that they made a mistake, and that's one of the hardest pills for a proud heart to swallow. They're in a process of cleansing, where they need to decide what's more important, protecting their ego or fighting for their heart. The good news, dear soul, is that their heart is starting to win this battle. With each passing day, the memory of your love, your light, grows stronger than the fear of rejection. The longing is shifting from a passive ache to an active motivation. They're starting to realize that the risk of losing you forever is much greater than the risk of trying to reconnect. Dear soul, the advice this person got didn't just highlight your worth. It also included a serious, urgent warning, and that's what's speeding up their transformation. The second part of the message they received sounded like an alarm, a wake-up call they can't ignore. The words were, "The universe is giving you one last chance to honor this connection. If you don't act from your heart's truth, energies will shift to guide them to a new path, a path of happiness and peace where they, by their own choice, will no longer be able to reach you." This wasn't a threat, but an explanation of how spiritual principles operate. The universe, in its endless wisdom and love, always works for the highest good of all souls. It protects and guides those with pure hearts and noble intentions. This means, dear soul, the universe won't let you stay in emotional limbo forever. Your happiness, growth, and peace are priorities in the spiritual plan. If someone can't or won't match your loving energy and walk beside you, the cosmic system itself will gently create new paths and opportunities for you, so your light isn't dimmed by another's indecision. This person was confronted with this truth in a brutally honest way. They understood their time to decide is running out, not because of your whim, but because your own spiritual evolution requires you to move forward, with or without them. This realization filled them with a healthy panic, an urgency they'd never felt before. The idea of you moving on and finding happiness with someone else, or simply on your own, and them being left behind, stuck in regret over their inaction, became their biggest fear. They realized the choice isn't just about staying together or not, but about evolving or stagnating. They understood that by connecting with you, they also grow, their soul also rises, and by pulling away, they don't just lose you, but lose a vital part of their own spiritual progress. This cosmic warning was the push they needed. The fear of rejection started to seem small compared to the fear of an eternal loss, a definitive disconnection, not just physically, but energetically. They're starting to understand that what you two have is rare, and that the universe only offers such gifts to those willing to cherish them. Their passivity is turning into a need to act, because they now know the cosmic clock is ticking, and the next move urgently needs to be theirs. Inaction is no longer an option. Dear soul, as if that crucial advice wasn't enough, the universe decided to reinforce the message in unmistakable ways. In the days following that realization, the person you care about started getting bombarded with signs and coincidences, making it impossible for them to sweep the truth under the rug. Everything around them seems to be conspiring to remind them of you and the urgency of the situation. The angels show me this is happening intensely. The song you both considered your song began playing in unexpected places, on the car radio, in a store, at a coffee shop. At first, they thought it was just a coincidence, but after the third or fourth time, a shiver ran down their spine, as if the universe was trying to tell them something directly. On top of that, your name started popping up in random conversations with other people who don't even know about your connection. Someone might mention your name while telling a story, or they'll hear someone calling out to a person with the same name on the street. Each time this happens, their heart races, as they feel it's another powerful reminder. But the signs don't stop there. They've been coming across images, symbols, or objects that hold special meaning for you too. Maybe a specific type of flower you love, a movie you watch together playing on TV, or even finding a book about a topic you used to discuss. Each of these chance encounters is like a small arrow pointing in your direction, reinforcing the message that they need to stop running and face what they feel. The angels say dreams have also become a powerful way to communicate. They've been having vivid, realistic dreams about you. In these dreams, you're not fighting or distant. Quite the opposite, you're talking, laughing, connected in a peaceful and loving way. They wake up with a bittersweet feeling, a warmth in their chest from feeling close to you, followed by a pang of sadness upon realizing it was just a dream. These dreams are planting in their subconscious an image of how things could be, showing them the potential for happiness within their reach. This avalanche of coincidences is breaking down their last defenses. They can no longer rationalize or downplay what's happening. They feel, on a deep level, that they're being guided, gently but firmly pushed in your direction. It's as if heaven and earth are aligning to bring about this reunion. They're starting to understand that this isn't just a personal feeling, but something bigger, a plan that's unfolding. This realization is both scary and comforting for them. Scary because the responsibility to act feels immense, and comforting because they feel they're not alone in this decision, that there are greater forces rooting for you two. My dear, all these things coming together, the advice, the inner conflict, and the signs from the universe, are leading to a fundamental shift in this person's perspective. The transformation happening within them isn't superficial. It's a deep reevaluation of their priorities and their perception of love and life. They're moving from a state of passive fear and regret to one of active desire and determination. Their mindset is changing. If before the dominant thought was, "I can't get hurt again," now it's being replaced by, "I can't stand life without you." This is a powerful shift. The fear of loss, which is a much stronger motivator, has finally outweighed the fear of vulnerability. They're starting to see the possibility of a reconnection not as a risk, but as the only way to fill the emptiness they feel. They realize that the real pain isn't in trying and maybe failing, but in never trying and living with doubt and regret forever. The angels show me they're starting to make plans. These are no longer just vague thoughts or distant wishes. They're actively thinking about how to approach you, what words to use, what's the best timing. They want to do this the right way, with honesty and humility. They know they can't come back with the same old attitudes. They understand they'll need to show through actions, not just words, that they've changed, that they've understood their mistakes, and that they're willing to do whatever it takes to earn your trust back. This planning phase is crucial because it shows they're taking the situation seriously. They no longer want to act on impulse or ego. They want to act based on the wisdom they've gained from this painful but necessary process of self-discovery. Their energy is shifting from reactive to proactive. They're no longer just reacting to the pain of your absence. They're actively planning a way to heal this wound. The image the angels are giving me is of someone who was lost in a dark forest and who, after getting a map, the advice, and seeing some guiding lights, the coincidences, has finally found a path and is starting to walk with purpose. The direction of that path, my dear, leads straight to you. They may still have fears about what they'll find at the end of the road, but for the first time in a long time, they are walking, driven by hope and the rediscovery of the love they feel. This change in perspective is the turning point. From now on, it's no longer a question of if they'll act, but when, and that when is getting closer every day. My dear, amidst all this transformation happening with the other person, the angels want to bring the focus back to you, to your essential role in all of this. It's crucial for you to understand that none of this would be happening without your own energy, your growth, and the strength of your light. You are not a passive observer in this story. You are the silent protagonist, the driving force behind this awakening. Think about it. The advice they received was about your worth. The coincidences they see remind them of you. The fear they feel is of losing you. Everything revolves around who you are. What's catalyzing this monumental change in them is your own spiritual evolution. Perhaps, lately, you've focused more on yourself, on your healing, on self-love, on strengthening your connection to something sacred. Perhaps you've stopped waiting and started living your life fully, finding joy in your own company and your own achievements. This shift in vibration, this rise in your energetic frequency, is felt by the universe. When you become stronger, more centered, and more aligned with your truth, your light shines brighter. And that light, my dear, acts like a beacon. It not only lights your own path, but also reaches into the darkness where the other person was, showing them the way back. They are waking up because you woke up first. They are starting to value you because you learned to value yourself first. Your emotional independence and inner peace have, paradoxically, made you more magnetic and indispensable to them. They feel, even from a distance, that you're no longer the same person who might have been willing to accept less than you deserve. They feel your strength, your power, and that both inspires and intimidates them. It inspires them because they see the incredible person you are. It intimidates them because they know that to be by your side now, they will need to rise to meet your new energy. The angels want you to recognize your power. Don't wait for them to feel complete. Continue your path of growth. Keep nurturing yourself, loving yourself, and prioritizing yourself. The more you do this, the more the universe will work in your favor, either by bringing this person back in a healed and whole way, or by opening up an entirely new and even brighter path for you. Your job now is to keep your energy high, trust the process, and most importantly, trust yourself. You are the central piece of this cosmic puzzle, and your happiness is the ultimate goal of all this energetic movement. Dear soul, we've reached the most impactful part of the advice this person received. After being reminded of their worth and warned about the urgency of time, the guidance concluded with a very specific call to action, an instruction on how they should proceed. This instruction is key to the genuineness of what's coming. The closing words were, "Forget strategies and games. The only way to fix this is to act purely from the heart, not the mind. The raw truth of your feelings is the only language their soul will understand, and the only bridge that can reconnect you." This means they were advised to drop any attempts at manipulation, any rehearsed speeches, or any approach that isn't 100% genuine. The mind is home to ego, fear, and calculation. The mind would try to find the right words to convince you, the best tactic to get the desired outcome. But the advice guided them to quiet the mind and let the heart speak. The heart knows no pride, no games. The heart only knows the truth of feeling, longing, love, regret, hope. They were instructed to present themselves to you in a state of complete vulnerability. No armor, no defenses, just with their soul exposed, ready to take responsibility for their actions and express the depth of what they feel, regardless of the outcome. This is the scariest part for them, but also the most liberating. Perhaps for their entire life, they've been taught to protect themselves, not to show their weaknesses. But now, they're understanding that, in this specific situation, their greatest strength lies in their ability to be vulnerable. They're realizing that the only way to touch your heart is by showing theirs first. This guidance is working on them, making them rehearse not the words, but the feeling. They are trying to connect with this inner truth, so that when the time comes, their communication will be smooth, honest, and come from the purest place within them. So, dear soul, when this approach happens, you can expect something different. It won't be a superficial conversation or a calculated attempt at reconciliation. It will be a confession, a plea coming directly from the soul. They've been taught that their only chance is by being completely real with you. And this authenticity, this courage to expose themselves, will be the ultimate proof of their transformation and the sincerity of their desire to return to your life. Prepare for a conversation that won't be mind to mind, but heart to heart. Dear soul, energy is building towards a climax. All the elements we've discussed, the advice, the awakening, the shift in perspective, and the heart's call to action, are coming together at one point. Imminent action. The person you care for is on the verge of making a move. The hesitation that paralyzed them for so long is fading, replaced by a need that has grown stronger than fear. The angels show an image of a dam about to break. The pressure of accumulated feelings, longing, regret, and new clarity has become so intense that the structure of fear and pride can no longer hold it back. There will be a moment, very soon, when something gives way. It could be a sudden impulse, a courage that appears out of nowhere, where they pick up the phone, drive to your place, or send a message that expresses everything. It won't be overly planned, despite all the thought. The decisive action, when it happens, will be driven by pure, uncontrollable emotion, exactly as the advice guided them. The energy surrounding this imminent approach is one of seriousness and purpose. They won't come to try their luck, or for a casual chat. They will come seeking resolution. In their mind and heart, this next contact is an all-or-nothing moment. They are preparing to lay all their cards on the table, to be completely transparent about their feelings and intentions. They know this might be their last opportunity, and they're not willing to waste it on half-truths or hesitation. You might already be sensing this shift in the energetic field. Perhaps you've dreamt of them, or felt their presence more strongly, or had an intuition that something is about to happen. This is your spirit picking up on the energy of their decision and intention being projected towards you. This is not a false alarm. The transformation is real, and the movement is unavoidable. Spiritual guides are aligning circumstances, so this conversation can happen at a suitable time and place, where both of you can express yourselves clearly and without interruption. What the angels ask of you now is to stay centered in your own peace. Don't be anxious or try to guess when or how it will happen. Just know it's coming. Keep taking care of yourself, strengthening your spirit, so that when this moment arrives, you can receive it with the wisdom, calm, and clarity of a woman who knows her own worth. The approaching conversation has the potential to heal old wounds and open the door to a new beginning, one based on the truth that has at last come to light. Dear soul, we've reached the edge of this powerful message's conclusion. The path of awakening for the person you care for, driven by the crucial advice they received, is bringing them inevitably back to you. Their approach is no longer a question of if, but when. And that when is very near. However, and this is the most important point the angels wish to stress, the ultimate power rests in your hands. All this transformation, all this cosmic movement, is bringing this person to your door, but it is you who will decide if that door opens and what happens next. The angels want you to feel immensely empowered by this truth. You are not dependent on the outcome. Your happiness isn't tied to their decision to return. Your happiness is your own creation, a garden you've cultivated with self-love and resilience. Their arrival is a possibility, an offering from the universe, but the choice to accept it will be entirely yours, based on what resonates with your soul and the peace of your heart. When they come, with an open heart and vulnerable soul, as they were advised to do, you will have the clarity to discern the truth in their words and energy. Your intuition, sharper than ever, will tell you if the change is genuine and if a new beginning is truly possible and healthy for you. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, but rather releasing the weight of the past so you can make a decision free from emotional ties. You can choose to rebuild on new foundations of honesty and commitment, or you can choose to be grateful for the lesson, wish them well, and go your own way in peace, knowing the story had a dignified close. There's no right or wrong choice, only the choice that honors your truth. The angels will be by your side, enveloping you in light and wisdom so you make the decision that best serves your highest good. Trust yourself. Trust the strong, wise woman you've become through all your experiences. They are coming, guided by a truth they have at last seen. But remember this, dear soul, the most important truth of all is the one that lives within your own heart. If this message hit home for you, comment below with, "Love's truth always lights the way." Feel free to share your own experiences in the comments too. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.